Jack.
Yusei!
There's something you should know.
What is it, Yusei?
I came
What?
to this city
Oh,
to give you a message. Card games on motorcycles.
card games on motorcycles!
Card games on motorcycles.
Crow, did you hear that? Card games on motorcycles!
Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles.
Card game on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles!
Card games on motorcycles!
Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles!
Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles!
Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorbikes.
Card games on motorcycles.
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 Card games on motorcycles!
Card games on motorcycles.
The resulting carnage lasted for at least 5 hours, and unfortunately there were no survivors. Oh, this just in. Card games on motorcycles!
Card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles!
Jack,
What is it, Yusei?
I came.
What?
途切れないように消えないように自分を確かめて数えきれないほど傷ついても確かな
Card games on motorcycles. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Sean Arnold, and welcome to another episode of Subscriber Showdown. Today I'm playing against Yusei Fudo, or Akiller-AK. That's a pretty awesome name. He wanted to play against me, challenged me to an episode duel, asked if he could be in a video, so here you go, dude, as promised. And sorry, it's probably a bit later than you expected it to be, but other things had to be done and got out of the way first. It's going to be a final episode which I use my Kuriboh Monarch deck, but before I start the video, I just wanted to make a quick, give you guys a quick background. Unfortunately, the first turn of this duel got cut off, and it's a shame because Akiller-AK did a really cool combo, so I'm going to just describe that now before we start the video. As he's playing like Yusei Fudo, he's using Stardust Dragon, and in his first turn he managed to bring out Stardust Dragon using 2 level 4 monsters, 1 tuner and 1 tuner fodder monster, and he brought out Stardust Dragon. And now in his second turn, as this video will begin, he has just played Assault Mode Activate. Assault Mode Activate is a card which you have to pick a particular card that has an assault mode version of it, and he chose his Stardust Dragon, sent it to the graveyard to bring assault mode Stardust Dragon / assault mode. It's a really strong card, and I will talk about it more in the video, so let's get down to it right now. So here he is, Stardust Dragon assault mode. It basically has all the same effects as Stardust Dragon, but plus more. Stardust Dragon is a card which, if it is going to be destroyed, or if a card on the field is going to be destroyed, you contribute Stardust Dragon, send it to the graveyard, negate that effect, and then bring it back later on in the turn. Assault Mode version of Stardust kind of takes that into account, but it makes it even better. He can negate not only a card that destroys something on the field, but any card that is activated. Any monster, any spell, any trap effect, he can negate it. He sent himself to the graveyard and then come back to life. And then what really sucks about Assault Mode Stardust Dragon is that he can also, when he is actually destroyed, he can bring back a copy of Stardust Dragon to the field. A really strong card with 3000 attack, really hard to get rid of here. I'm gonna be on the ropes for this duel. He's gonna really put some pressure onto me with his Stardust Dragon, and also he's got his Assault Mode Beast, which is a card which searches out Assault Mode Activate. He's gonna do a lot of damage to me quite easily this turn, and so he attacks first with Stardust Dragon Assault Mode, and I'm gonna have to use Kuriboh to protect me. Kuriboh, thank you for saving my life, and that's gonna protect me from any damage. He could potentially negate it, but there is no real point of doing so because there's no point of doing so because he will still lose his monster and the attack won't go through anyway. So that's kind of a fair trade there. And now he's going to attack using his Assault Beast, and Assault Beast is going to do 1900 damage to me. Not going to protect that one at all because that could be a problem. I'm going to have to do something to make this work, but I'm going to stall for a bit more in order to kind of get a couple of more cards. but we'll see what happens. So I set down Win Kuriboh, and hopefully he'll protect my life points this turn. The Kuriboh is definitely going to work in this duel here, and but it's not going to be easy to come back from the first turn. Assault mode, activate Stardust Dragon. I keep saying assault mode first. I prefer saying assault mode first than it's secondly, although it's Stardust Dragon assault mode. Now he's going to really put the pressure on. He's going to attack with Assault Beast, but fortunately Win Kuriboh is going to activate. Now he could have negated Win Kuriboh using his Stardust assault mode, but I think he's just going to choose not to do so, and he's just going to end his turn. He could have done a bit more damage to me using Rose that way, but he's not going to do so at all. Again, I am on the ropes here. There's a lot of monsters here. They could probably wipe me out in one turn. So what am I going to do here? Let's see what happens. I'm going to have to try and make something happen here, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bait out his Stardust effect in order to kind of make something else happen. And he's going to be waiting for me to play the one key card that will allow me to make a comeback in this game. So what I'm going to do first is play Tenacity and see if my opponent will react to it. If he does, that's good, because I can play the Monarch Stormforth and get rid of another monster. But he chooses not to react to it. He chooses to let it rock. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to search my deck for a Monarch card. I'm going to get another copy of the Monarch Stormforth from my deck to my hand. Now I'm going to play the Monarch Stormforth and try and get rid of his Stardust Dragon. Akiller-AK obviously seems to know about this, so he's going to react using the effect. He's going to negate that effect, unfortunately, and he's going to destroy my card, and I'm not going to be able to use it. Luckily for me though, and unbeknownst to Akiller-AK, I have another copy of the Monarch Stormforth in my hand. I'm going to play that right now to kind of bring get control of the field again. So I'm going to get rid of one of his monsters. I'm going to tribute Rose Warrior of Revenge. Maybe, yeah, there it goes. Rose Warrior of Revenge is going to go to the graveyard because I don't want him synchro summoning again. And now I'm going to summon Ryza. Ryza the Storm Monarch has a spin effect. A spin effect in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is an effect which sends a card from the field back to your opponent's the top of your opponent's deck in order to soft lock them. Or what a soft lock for how the soft lock works is if you're forcing your opponent to draw into the same cards again and again and again, they're not getting any new resources, and that way you're kind of locking off their options, although it only really normally works for about a turn or so. So now my opponent's going to try and bring back his Stardust Dragon Assault mode, but I'm not going to let it happen. I have fortunately set down Solemn Warning. Solemn Warning is going to negate that, and it's going to stop him from coming back. That's really fortunate for me. However, that being said, I did have to use a lot of resources in order to make this happen, so he could quite easily synchro summon again, and I don't really have the options to stop him, so both of us are kind of even at this point. I've got the field presence, but he's got the life point advantage, and I've got 2 copies of Kuriboh in my hand. There's only so much that a Kuriboh can do. Anyway, he sets down Summon a Monk, and I'm going to destroy that in battle with Ryza, and now I'm going to end my turn. Let's see, but over to him now. Let's see if he draws into something and see what happens next. But Akiller-AK's deck is pretty good. He summons 10 Goldfish. Oh my god, that's going to be bad. 10 Goldfish is going to allow him to special summon 1 level 4 monster from his hand, and it could be something really bad here. So let's see what he does. He special summons Summon a Monk, and now he can either XC summon, well no, he has to XC summon, he can't tune or synchro summon. So he can easily bring out something which is bigger than my Ryza to change the tide of the battle here. And let's see what he's going to choose. He chooses Dark Rebellion XZ Dragon. Dark Rebellion XZ Dragon is a really good rank 4 monster, really easy to bring out, and I usually use him in a lot of my decks as well. And how this monster works is that you get to choose 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, half its attack, and add half of its attack to your monster's attack. So my Ryza is now down to 1200 attack, and his dragon is now at 37,000 or 3700 or 3700 attack. Because of this is a big attack, I have to try and block it somehow. So I'm going to use a Kuriboh to absorb the damage, and Ryza is going to get destroyed, unfortunately. And that effect is permanent. As long as that card stays on the field, it will have 3700 attack. So he can easily make a comeback here. Fortunately for me, I drew into Compulsory Evacuation Device, and I'm going to leave my field open. So let's see what Akiller-AK will try to do this turn. I could bounce that back to his deck, quite easily using compulsory evacuation device. But I'm not going to do so right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let him attack me, and I'm going to use Ghost Trick Jack Frost. Ghost Trick Jack Frost is a fun card, a fun hard hand trap, and how it works is when your opponent declares a direct attack, you reveal the card, and you get to flip one of your opponent's monsters face down, then special summon him to the field. The reason why I chose to do this as opposed to using compulsory evacuation device right now is because it's free. Ghost Trick Jack Frost doesn't have a cost, he just brings himself to the field, whereas if I use compulsory evacuation device, I lose a card in the process, so I really need to try and maintain an advantage against my opponent in case he makes a big comeback. Fortunately, I drew into Caius the Shadow Monarch, and Caius is going to be tribute summoned onto the field, and he's going to get rid of his face down card. I really should have actually gotten rid of his spell or trap card at this point, because I knew my Caius had a higher attack than Dark Rebellion Dragon's defense, so that was a mistake on my part. So I'm actually attacking here, and I could actually easily run into something like a Mirror Force, but fortunately for me, Akiller-AK doesn't destroy it. So it went through, I got lucky there, but really should have focused on getting rid of the spell or trap card as opposed to the monster. But at least I got to deal an extra 1000 damage to him for my troubles, as Dark Rebellion Dragon is a dark type monster, and Caius does a bit of burn damage when he removes a dark type monster. Okay, let's see what he's going to do now. He summons Rose, Warrior of Revenge. Rose is a really solid level 4 tuner monster, a very popular one because it's a warrior, which is easily searchable by reinforcement in the army, and he plays Battle Tuned. Battle Tuned allows him to remove from play one tuner monster in his graveyard, target one face-up monster you control, and that monster gains attack equal to the banished monster's attack. So he banished another copy of Rose and doubled his attack monster's attack to 3200, but I'm not going to deal with that. I'm going to get that off my field, and I'm going to send that back to his hand. What Akiller-AK probably should have done is he probably should have just set Battle Tuned and let it just stay on the field, and then when I attacked him in the next turn, he should have used it then, and I wouldn't have been able to respond during the damage step. However, he didn't do that, so maybe that was just a mistake on his part, but fortunately for me, it's going to work out quite well. Caius is going to do another swing and do a nice bit of damage to my opponent. And now I'm going to set down Vanity's Emptiness, just in case he tries to special summon again, and I don't want him to do that, because obviously it's going to be a big threat. Let's see what he does now in this turn here. Again, both of us are still quite even, we have the same number of resources, our life points are quite similar. It's anyone's game. I just have the advantage in terms of field presence right now, and because I have a stronger monster, and my opponent is setting down a card, I'm going to assume, or going to try to assume, that that could be Rose. So I'm going to attack it and see what it is. It's not, it's Resynchron. Resynchron is a card which has some kind of special effect when it's used as a tribute for a synchro summon, but I don't know it off the top of my head. So what I do this turn is I set down Flute of Summoning Kuriboh, and I end my turn. Let's see what Akiller-AK is going to do now. Over to you, buddy. Okay, now he draws into another monster and he sets it straight away. So in his hand he's still got Rose, and he set down a different monster, so he's just going to turtle for a bit until he can get some resources and somehow take back control. But his deck is good. His deck does a lot of synchro summoning. It's really powerful, brings out a lot of powerful monsters quite easily, and you've got to be prepared for this kind of thing in this day and age. You've got to have cards which don't just destroy your opponent's monsters, that just remove them from the field somehow, and cards like Compulsory Evacuation Device and Solemn Warning are really used quite often just because of cards like that. That was Top Runner. Don't even know what Top Runner does, to be honest with you. So there goes Top Runner, but destroyed quite easily by Caius. So let's see what my opponent does now. It's going to be a bit of turning for a little while, guys. Bear with it until the action picks up again. He plays MST. Which card is he going to target? He targeted my second card, which is fortunate for me because it is a quick play spell. And I play Flute of Summoning Kuriboh to bring a Winged Kuriboh from my deck to my field. And that is my last Kuriboh in my deck. I managed to use all 6 of them in this one duel, and they actually were quite useful. Who says Kuriboh can't be viable, huh? MSC goes to the graveyard, having destroyed my Flute of Summoning Kuriboh, and he sets down now his Rose. I know where that card is, I know I can destroy it quite easily, so because he's kept it in his hand so long. If you're going to be forced into a situation where you're turning like this, unless it's a really key card, which is probably why he saved Rose, maybe for tint, so that he could get out a tin goldfish or something to special summon her, you probably should have put that card down to keep me guessing, in order so I didn't really know what you had in your hand. And I know it's not a threat to me, so I'm happier to make it more comfortable, a bigger play this turn, because I know what cards you have on your field. I don't know what that face down card is. I'm guessing it could be an assault mode activate, but as long as you don't have a Stardust Dragon on the field or something else that works with assault mode, I'm not going to worry about it. It's just a dead card right now. But I'm not going to play too risky right now. I'm just going to keep on poking my opponent. I'm going to destroy his Rose, and then I'm going to attack with Wing Kuribo for 300 damage. Just a little poke, just a little toe poke. There you go. And now I'm going to end my turn. Again, I'm not going to get too complacent here, even though I'm doing quite well at this point. Someone like Akiller-AK does have the opportunity to kind of come back, and of course he draws into Soul Charge. Soul Charge is going to allow him to bring back a ton of monsters this turn, and he's going to show them off right now. The monsters he's going to target in his graveyard are... Let's see what he chooses. Soul Charge is pretty much a last resort kind of card. You get to choose as many monsters as you want, but for each of those monsters you got to pay 1,000 life points. Then he chooses Stardust Dragon, Scrap Beast, and Assault Beast. But fortunately I found his Emptiness to stop that special summoning, and he's not going to be able to use Soul Charge at all. It's a really bit of a last resort card. If he managed to bring back those monsters and then say that it was an assault mode activate on the field, he would have got this game and he would have taken it back from me quite easily. But I'm very fortunate, very well prepared. So I'm going to attack him again with both Wing Kuribo and Caius, dealing 2700 damage to him this turn. And then we'll see what happens after this. But Akiller-AK, you've got a very good deck, dude. A very strong play. Very good opening. It's one of the few kind of openings which I think are worth making. Getting Assault Mode Stardust Dragon out on the first turn can be really beneficial, because even though it's so costly to bring that card out, you've got to use like 3 cards at least to bring it out. You do have a card which can control the field really well. And unless your opponent's prepared to get around it, like I am, then it can win the game for you in that first turn or so. But he's not going to be able to make a comeback here, so this is going to be a really big game for me here. But Akiller-AK, thank you for playing me, and thank you for showing off your deck. And to anyone else, if you want to challenge me, feel free to hit me up sometime, and I'll be more than happy to play with you. And if it's good, I'll put it on YouTube. Anyway, that's been another episode of Subscriber Showdown. Please expect a new video sometime in the near future, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. Take care.